Hello, people, viewers, humble watchers that don't know me. Welcome to my channel, and we're back with the Smoke Room. I'm just gonna load up William's save. Because, yeah. It was, where was it? Here, Yeah, it was here. Basically, what I want to talk about right now is at the end of Cliff's route, I didn't really comment on any of it, but I didn't really comment on my thoughts about the route or where it was heading or anything like that because I was so wrapped up in like my emotions at the moment and all that shit. I'm not good at filtering out my emotions and what I'm experiencing and like trying to like tell people what I feel about it. Basically, I really like how we're getting more information on Cliff himself. We didn't really have much of that beforehand. It was just like him being a student from Batavia that came here to study Meseta. Now we realize that he was here because his father made him come here for the whole plan with the railroad. And I was trying to keep it under wraps, but I was feeling extremely uncomfy that entire segment of the settlement because I don't know if you know about this shit, but those were real things. Those were real things back in the day where indigenous people were sent to civilize them or whatever the fuck those idiots thought they were doing. We're still learning about the absolute atrocities went down in them, and this being an Echo game, uh, I just seen it how well they portrayed it in the end of Cliff's route last time made me really nervous for what's to come because if they're doing this realistic, we're going to be experiencing some of the most heinous fucking shit. And I'm really not okay with the fact that you can choose to just be okay with it. You like obviously it makes sense with Cliff's character, it's not a problem for the game, but like it makes me so uncomfy that one of the choices you have as Cliff is to just sit by and let these people be taken advantage of and exploited for profit. It's just so fucking disgusting. And I have a very bad feeling that the bad ending of Cliff's route is going to be when you choose to help the railroad plan go through. I just I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense for like his character and what the routes, what and like horror, because this is a horror game. Even if there is moments of respite from the horror, this is still a horror game, and it's psychological horror. So I have a feeling that the bad ending is Cliff basically saying, you know what, I'm more important than these people. I'm going to do what I can to make sure the plan goes through, and that alone would be such a good ending, though. It would be a really good bad ending for him. However, I can't imagine what the good ending would be in this case because we know that he can't stop it. Because we know in game, in universe, diegetically, that he doesn't succeed because Echo turns into what it does, but also in the real world, we know it wouldn't work because it didn't work. So, this is gonna be a dark game. This is gonna be a real dark game, I can already tell that much. Anyway, getting back into William's route, which it's been quite a bit of time since I did one on him. I think the last time we left off was like Sam talking to William about his depiction of God being this hungry, malevolent creature. That was a really interesting scene. Like his fears about that God might be that, It's it's a thought I had myself, honestly, and I'm not even religious anymore, but like Gnosticism and the demiurge and all that really does. The people from different points of history legitimately thought that the God of the Bible was an imposter that built the universe to trick people into worshiping him. That's Gnosticism. Basically, the demiurge is the biblical God that did all that. It's really interesting. You should look it up if you want to, but anyway. William is a character that I find interesting, let's just say that much. Like most of my days, I wake up to a knock on my door. Yeah? Are you decent, Sam? She sounds different today. Tired. Drained. I was slept in my clothes last night, fortunately. Door opens, she comes in. You must feel sore. Nah, it's nothing. You okay? I was gonna ask you the same thing. Last night wasn't your fault. It was the drinking. And well, I feel myself get hot. I brush my paw, the scar in the back of my head. Right, we're going back in time for this one, because yeah. I'll probably be paying for this for a good while. Yeah, you feeling after last night? Wait, oh, right, that's what happened last time. Like, the whole, like, thing with light as a feather, all that stuff. Where we saw the thing come out of the ceiling. Right, that's what happened last time, not the god thing. That was, like, I think a video before that. But yeah, that sequence is really, really something. I like that sequence a lot. The creature in the roof kind of reminds me of quite a few different creatures from mythology, but the scene is where in like Echo's supposed to be in Utah, you know? I'd say it's maybe like a skinwalker or something, I don't know. I don't know enough about Native American mythology to really say anything substantially, but it's definitely interesting. Bad. She crosses her arms. Oh, of course she feels bad. Fuck did I ask it like that? I know I'm not the best. Ignoring people infuriate me. But everybody dies, don't they? So every time you hear somebody say something stupid or evil, just think, you're gonna be dead one day. Listen, Sam, and time will eat you up. Sam, yeah? I don't care about what happens to bad people. I want to enjoy my own life while I have it. Life is all we got. There is nothing else. We're gonna agree to disagree. It's not an important discussion to me right now. This bridles a lot of things, Sam. But it ain't a cage. Last night was the first time in a long time I felt like I did at the reservation. I don't want to leave, Sam. But if there's anybody here doing what they did there, I don't think I can stay. Oh, jeez. Actually, yeah, it makes a shit ton of sense now why she didn't like talking about the reservation. Good grief. Where would you go? There's always a way to get by. I told her about Harlan now. I think she'd leave us for sure. Seems like he's on his way out. Maybe I don't need to burden her with that sort of knowledge right now. Jeez. My paw slides down my head to the back of my neck and I rub it. But what if it's not? What if it's nothing? You know it isn't. What was that? Sam, don't scream like that. It's the worst. I'm sorry. It's just... Did you hear that? Hear what? Well... Truth is, it sounded like me. I know it wasn't. I keep getting the feeling that both me and Cynthia are being watched in this room. It's a heaviness. An oppressive kind of feeling that keeps my tail fur on end but never goes away. I feel like it's all around me. But every time I look for the cause, there's just nothing. Just me and her staring back in the mirror. Sorry to scare you. We're all a little used to it. Doesn't make me feel better. And I'll be out most of the day, but I'll try back at night. Shouldn't you rest today? Can't. William needs me. Secret stuff? Secret stuff. Really won't make any use out of you get sick again. Don't push yourself. Shoot him in her direction. It'll be fine. It will. I feel it with me. I don't like that line. Because, like, diegetically, it makes sense, because, like, the entity bullshit, but, like, non-diegetically, it also makes sense, because they're literally being watched by me and my audience. I hate that. Grab some quick breakfast and go down before I go downstairs. I rehydrate some oats with water in the kitchen, mix in some butter and molasses. Oh, oatmeal. Cool. And I chew in some jerky in between spoonfuls. Doesn't take me too long to empty and wash my bowl, pour them on the way. A little bit confused to see William's already waiting outside for me. Standing against the fence of the post office, eyes listening across the newspaper. Well, howdy, Samuel. Morning. You're here earlier than I expected. Here I thought I'd been one of your office by now. Cody glances at his rich watch. I've only been here for an hour, Sam. It's long I would have presumed. You weren't just sitting here waiting for me, were you? Don't flatter yourself too much. It was more of a two birds, one stone situation. Those birds being... Name me some more, why don't ya? Was a fair question. Just waiting for you. Must want to look out. What for? Don't want to talk about, but you can probably guess. Well, if I can guess anything, how about slight pair of strong suits hot in your trail? His eyes off the paper, looks at me, and his voice turns snappy and stern. Mobsters are Catholic, Sam. Don't find them on the strand on a Sunday morning. I was joking, Sheriff. Though it wasn't funny. It's called dark humor, William.
Get used to it, dude.
God, I'm actually wondering if this route's gonna be a murder mystery with some horror. I mean, obviously horror, but like, oh, that would be so cool. Murder mystery and Echo. Yeah. God, I want that to happen. He lowers the paper with his wrists, then reaches out his paw, running his claws to one of his ears. Flattened in my head. Is like, what? Did I read that wrong? Right, running his paws to one of my ears. He flattened in my head as I recoil back, and Will was flicking something to the ground. Hey, what was that for? I had some dust in here like you hadn't washed. Bothering me. Sorry, I'm a bit dingy. A lot happened last night. Like what? Nothing I like to talk about. Friend at a bad time. Just not cleared the forest neither, so to speak. Teasing vague stories you're not willing to talk about in detail and get suspicious quick. Not as suspicious as pretending to read the newspaper in broad daylight while knocking out the hip, I reckon. Who says I'm pretending to read the paper? As others are walking down the road in town towards the lake. I have to keep my boys in Burgundy. More baseball. Damn straight. I'm 3 weeks behind, too, thanks to the guerrillas who torched the town press. Gonna get our papers all in Colville. Doing alright, these boys? Could be better, could be worse. How come you're so invested in reading some about a ball game? I don't just read about it, I used to play. I chuckle. You? Yeah, me. Time for me to pitch you and Nickers. See so many of those in the locker room, you get used to it. Ain't they tight? Couldn't complain. Ever play a game yourself, Sam? Sticks and pine cones you play with hardly counts the real deal. You ever been to a baseball game? Not a professional one, no. So you never had a hot dog then? Of course I've had a hot dog before. I meant a foot long fresh from the stands. Some of those big stadiums carry ones covered in just the right amount of spicy mustard and sweet relish. Sounds messy. Nobody cares. Just eat like a gentleman if you got fussed. Because I won't have to worry about that anytime soon. William's whiskers droop. Ain't that the truth? All that's going on here and there was in the big city, huh? Oh, it's night and day, Sam. never intervened so much with these people's problems I've been born on my skull. That's kind of sad, isn't it? So it's like that he's saying there's nothing here for him. Wouldn't have thought that was the case. That were the case if it weren't for what you told me today. Oh boy, Lake Emma again. Fucking hell, this fucking lake. I hate this lake so much. Ugh. Lake Emma's waves darken the sand. Towels and blankets litter the beach along with a few makeshift parasols. If you are, we can expect Nick and Murdoch. Oh, sweet, I get to do my Nick voice again, yay. So what do you want to do until then? Not sure. Crouches on his knees and we stare at how the light reflects off of the lake. Don't have a lot of time to sit in silence with one another. Usually there's always something to do or something to discuss. The of us just sitting here doing nothing, watching the worlds in the water go by, seems less real than any of the hallucinations or the horrors. But you spend at least an hour doing that, and I'm happy. Soon enough, William starts to fidget and says he needs to move around again. So we follow the shoreline, waiting past crowds of playing kids and lounging couples, till the time grows late and our minds move back to business all over again. Do you really think we'll find anything here today, William? Can't say for sure. But if we don't, I'd like to enjoy myself today. Oh, yay! It's Cliff or Cornelius. Yoo-hoo! Christ. Weasel waited just for a flannel blanket sit with Murdoch a few yards away. Salesman brushes the dust from his pants as he rises, straining to meet us. Good afternoon, Sheriff. William lowers his voice. I thought you said Nick was coming. Oh, he's here just to take care of some business. Makes the quick motion with his hand like he's zipping something up and down. You brought the professor, though. Gentlemen, I'm a wounded man. Cliff help me put together so we'll be sharing together. And I need somebody to carry my things beside my shoulder. Still hurts like hell. If you put yourself in danger of that man again, I'll be forced to tell your father. Murdoch's tight smile draws taut and I see a trace of teeth. Draw faster next time, I won't have to. Y'all don't think he has it in him or anything. William said nothing as he turned away to look back at the blanket. Right? We all watched the weasel lift the thermos to his face, gripping it with both hands. His Adam's apple bobs as he chugs the contents. Is something going on? Nick! Good to see you, Sam. He still sounds upset with me, but at least he's looking at me with it when he talks to me now. Mostly. Nothing important. Just glad I had you lend us assistance. Cliff, could you wash the food for us? Not too closely for all of your sakes. I don't think I'd put myself back in the Huckleberry Jam if it's Scrummy's last jar. Don't worry, I'll get back as soon as possible. Let's be quick about this. Lead the way, Murdoch. We walk the shoreline for about 10 minutes until we come into a valley of cliffs with the lake where it meets the river. Are we going back to this fucking place, really? Oh my god. We don't have much room to navigate the rocks. A misstep would mean a tumble into the river. Now I understand what William meant when he said it would be unlikely for somebody with a cart to get out here. We're all sticking close to the rock wall. Surprised Nick can fit in these ledges, but he's quick and limber despite his size. Crouch every few feet to look in the water and pokes a claw at a few minnows. With that, you fall in. Stop pretending that I am you. They float like a duck in the water. That ain't even my point. It's over here. Both of us turn our heads. Ahead there looks to be an opening mouth of a cave in the side of the wall, but Murdoch looks past another few yards and points to a bank on the opposite side of the river. That's where y'all heard it come from. Standing right there. Certainly no sign of a cart or a cave on that side of the river. Quite confident my senses are reliable. Certainly something violent going on over there. Whether or not it's tied to disappearances, whoever wants Cliff dead, I can't say. But I've left Cliff alone long enough, man, bad to a picnic blanket. We'll take it from here. Bugs waves at us with the back of his hand as he passes through, back to the direction of the lake. No land bridge in sight. I don't see a great way to cross the river. Big Coyote pulls up his suspender straps and unbuttons his shirt. I've skinny dipped before, but before other males my age, though most of my life. Feels different knowing it's the two men I've gotten off before. Oh, good grief. We're away from any prying eyes between the steep canyons. Nick and I look at another one awkwardly, and William notices, please don't get me. I don't want to have to pause this. William drops his pants and goes with his head way deep in the water. That was way quicker than I thought. They literally just crossed the fucking river. That was it. That's all you missed. His display forward and his gaze is almost more intense, like he's alert. There. There what? Wheels on his feet, and headed toward a rock face. Looks about to walk straight into a wall. Hell's he doing? He strikes him and he gets to his feet as well. William looks about to make a collision. He stops, sidesteps, and disappears. Oh, we're going into a cave. Fucking great. We follow as we can. Why is it red in here? Red means scary, y'all. William's voice drops to a whisper. That's our cart. Kind of place is this, Nick? I do not know. This could be a discontinued shaft, CSCG Site A. But I can tell it does not seem recent use. Don't any of y'all hear that? Stop to listen. There's wind and there's the sound from the Dobbat River, but that's all. Seems like we may not be dealing with miners at all. I'd recognize that code anywhere. Cody crouches down, his tawny tail swishing from left to right as he goes deeper into the tunnels. What the fuck, dude? Are you trying to die? Did he say code? Yeah, sure did. What does that mean? There were no sounds. I didn't hear anything either. How did he come here? Tell me if he's not following somebody. I pondered this too. His tracking senses are exceptional. Perhaps we cannot detect what he can. We should follow him. Right. Dude, why the fuck do you not have a fucking, like, flashlight or something? And since a sudden change in the pressure of the room. What the fuck? So this is a discontinued mine shaft. So it's not just the mines that are at the fucking where Nick. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, I hate that. I'm sorry. This looks like a fucking scene out of Dante's Inferno to me. It just does. Hairs on my tail stand on end. There's some sort of metal drawbridge in this room. It's suspended over a chasm that whistles with the draft rising from below. The sound it makes its sways is grating, like the crunching of iron bone against bone inside their own sockets, as if metal could have arthritis. It technically can rust. Sounds like they're moving slow, but if we keep a distance, we can sneak up on them. Who is moving slow, William? Some not-so-nice men. Small fries, but they're named in the color of a dawn, I knew without a doubt. Sounds like they're camping across the bridge. Spice of a dawn. Out here in Echo? I know it just said it became a city 2 years ago, but isn't it too small to attract that kind of outfit? You know that my ex-wife came back, Sam. She could have brought them with her. He and Nick look at one another. Not saying I don't believe you. Don't patronize me, Samuel. This was Murdoch's report, not mine. It's possible we're dealing with ordinary counterfeiters or robbers. There's no doubt about it. I heard them use the code of a Spig family and I never told anyone about. It's not an ordinary thing to hear. Sets off alarms in my head. But we're wasting too much time discussing things we could be crossing that bridge. Nikolai walks up to the bridge and grabs one of the wires connecting the ridge to a bolt in the stone. Let's go, blowing his paw off. Neither of you should use this bridge. It is not fit to use. Well, yeah, normally I'd think that too. Except I just watched two people cross it at once. Bridge as sturdy as it can be. What? No. Support cable is rusted through. Will not hold one person, let alone two. Must be some sort of trick. Someone doesn't want us to cross this bridge. He just said he saw two people crossing, Nick. But they also said they heard two people talking. We both heard no such thing. The more I think about this, William, you asked me to be here today because of my knowledge of the caves and mining infrastructure, yes? I did. Then listen. My paw is covered in rust. I know what rust smells like. Everything you say makes sense. But I know what I saw. We can only catch them off guard if we're quick. Nick and William don't usually argue. They tend to agree on pretty much everything, but it's weird to see them so tense as on a matter as simple as crossing a bridge. Either way, this don't feel very productive, and I don't want them to fight anymore. It makes me feel too sad. I gotta say, I really don't trust this bridge. I really don't. And honestly, I vastly trust Nick over William because Nick actually has experience in the mines, and we've seen what the mines are like. So, no, fuck the bridge. I don't doubt for a second that William saw what he thought he saw, but I know for a fact that I have seen impossible things while living in this shithole. Either the bridge is fine and Nick imagines he sees rust, or there ain't any people on their side of the bridge. Fine, just test the damn thing with a rock, you're so skeptical. I don't see any nearby. Well, pulls a baseball out of his pocket. As if I ever get to use this anyway. Tosses the baseball underhanded at the bridge. There's a big impact from the bounce and then a crunch. We all stare as half of the bridge crumbles away with the barest amount of applied pressure. See? See? We would have died. What the hell's going on? They didn't go that way, then where did they go? Whoever they were, they are not here now. They have noticed how uneven the shaft scaffolds are, and it makes me nervous. This tunnel will cave in with time. It would not be smart to stay here. And I will drag you kicking and howling out of here. That is what I must do to save your life. William closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. Save your strength, we're done here. Then doesn't say anything else and turns around. We follow him out of the tunnel. Okay, so... So we're dealing with some kind of mobster situation here. That's interesting. Echo had the mob, huh? That's just weird. It's really strange to imagine Echo having the mob in it. It's just fun to see William and Nick interact in a way that isn't like Nick trying to avoid William because Sam's in trouble with the law, you know? It's really interesting. We walk forward without talking much. Nick looks like today aged another year and William hasn't had the time to lick his wounds yet. Strip while we get to the river. Okay, I'm pausing it just. There's no shyness now, just a bit of numbness. When we get to the other side, we sit in silence, letting the sun and the dry air get rid of the wetness again. Okay, so you guys missed a fucking discussion with, like, Nick and William and then Sam and William, and then, of course, there was the choice that I did. Basically, Nick just told William, like, hey, you didn't do anything wrong in there, I'm your friend, yeah, I'm glad you're my friend. Basically said that the mines is Nick's thing, and that William has people skills. And then Sam and William kind of, like, discussed what happened in there with, like, William being like, well, what happened there, Sam? And I, like, one of the choices were all, like, either hallucination or witches, or you did nothing wrong, so I just clicked hallucinations because it seems like that's the one that Sam would choose the most because of his experiences so far in the game. And then he said, well, at least we know that Murdoch's account was real, that there was a card there, that we did follow someone in there. So that part's true. Now they're going back to the picnic, so yeah. Sun is much higher by the time we get back to the picnic blanket. The sky is still blue. Welcome back! You took a while.
True this, Sam had to calm me down after I made some mistakes today.
So did he?
I'm here, aren't I?
Well, that's an impressive feat. Ow, Sam! Oh, William.
Lots of rocks rattling around her head today is all.
Nick's been filling us in. Really did connect to the mine.
Location did, or at least. Couldn't manage to get a lead into potential crimes or involved suspects. But I'll be seeing there out of touch for the immediate future.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot to mention what Sam said about hallucination things. Basically, he said that sometimes when you remember the past, you kind of remember it differently, you know, when you actually see a picture or like you see something that you had when you were younger and it's like completely different how you remember it. And that sometimes those memories can like break the surface into like the real world through hallucination. It's a very interesting area of psychology, I will admit, to look into that, and like hallucinations and stuff, because I used to have hallucinations. I did, but not anymore, obviously. Whatever. Coffee, please. It's 7:47 a.m.
Well, I'll be scouting there with Todd in the immediate future. Then I need to try, thinking just to try and enjoy the rest of my day.
You know, I've never really seen you relax in public. Murdoch's right. Though it's hard to think about a circumstance where he never relaxes. He's stiff and wouldn't take care of his balls. That was a pun. Oh my god, Sam, really? He was stiff even when I'm... Oh my god.
Call a force of habit.
What are you saying about Will and Sam the stag night to loosen up? Was that the old middle dot you were speaking of earlier? Nick made a humming noise.
That may not be the best decision. Now that Nick brings it up, I think my presence wouldn't sit well with a bunch of wobblers.
Makes the humming noise again.
I've changed my mind. You can be our friend first and the sheriff second for a single night. Don't make trouble and you won't find trouble. I should not have to tell you not to wear your badge. Obviously.
You can say arrest me if anybody gets suspicious.
Are all hands have I already agreed to go?
Of course, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a nice cup of tea at home instead. After all, not everybody's meant to be the life of the party.
Been to plenty of parties in my life. Just this particular one, which could be considered unseemly of me on multiple levels.
Why's that? Scared to try something new, William? I haven't heard you call him by his first name before.
Because he hasn't.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, he's blushing. You blushing. You blushy boyo. It's the first time for everything. William laughs.
And there's also a never.
I don't put much stock in nevers. It's just exciting to see different lives all. You know, in any other contest, my father's forced me to run errands for him.
Apologize for that. Rather work with you than deal with him. No offense.
None taken. That reminds me, I brought the panel camera. Since this is one of the few times we can gather in the daylight, I want to take a photograph together. Learning the proper production process for sensitive paper yesterday was nothing short of fascinating. Fuck is he even saying? Think I'll never... Yes, you will, Sam. At least a different alternate timeline version of you will, but oh well. I can take the picture. Just taking the picture means you never have to be in the picture. How does this thing work? Pick up the weird wooden box, which feels heavier than it should be. Make sure you angle it carefully so your face isn't in the shot. Don't know what that means, but alright. Press the camera against the rock wall and open the slat for about 30 seconds. And then... Alright. You can't answer for 30 seconds. Now then... Close the slot and hand me the pinhole camera. Easy. Here you go. Box pulls out a black canvas cloth and what looks like a heavy metal box full of liquid. Hand in the box and then it goes inside of it. Looks really stupid. You okay in there? I was too excited to wait to see how this one turned out at home. I can see that. Picture's done. Already? But it came out beautiful. And a small piece of paper to me. This is gonna be a scare, isn't it? There's gonna be something in the background. Oh. Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. Do you see this? Do you see this? Oh, they are so fucking. There is no way in hell they aren't. Fuck. Just move to show a little hand gesture and last back to Cliff's blanket. Doesn't leave as much as we can do this, so we spread the rest of Sunday relaxing. Well, obviously Sam's head was in the picture too, but whatever. I look around, it seems like everybody's had their fun. But I can't feel like the rest of the day was wasted. Nick looks like he's finally eaten enough, resting against a big rock. Reddick is combing the sand out of his tail. Cliff is drawing. William is... well, he's staring at the water. Probably stewing about the cave. How did he get those scars? Does that way too much for somebody his age. They seem decades older he is. Oh, shut the fuck up, Sam. Thinking a lot is just a sign of higher intelligence, that's all. So I sit next to him and stare with him.
Just what are you up to?
Just join you, I suppose.
Well, I'm just studying the shore and a bit more about those tunnels.
I'm just staring at the water. Wondering how many people have died here since the dawn of time.
Thinking about wet things again. Thinking about wet things again.
I'm on a suffer from the audacity of that comment. Ears are twitching now. Kind of pissed off how funny that was for something so rude.
Lots of things are wet, William.
The other look. Christ's sake, he's not gonna drop, is he?
So you've been working non-stop.
Don't laugh, damn it.
Not here, William. There we go.
Why are you doing this right now?
'Cause I like it when you laugh. You come back to life when you do.
That's strangely sweet. Therefore, I don't entirely trust it. Keep that up and you two will start having more in common.
Who?
Throw my head and look back to past his shoulder. Runs the direction of Mr. Tippett's again, just squinting at his book, framing a landscape with stubby little digits. That wipes a smile off his face.
Hardly.
He's all smirking now. You're so sure. Pinches the bridge of his snout.
Yes. Never put you and anybody else in danger like that. People like us, I mean.
Shrug at him. People like us always end up in danger anyhow, don't we?
Well, that's what's nice about the West, Sam. Everybody gets to be in danger all the time.
Yet you keep saying the winter city's more exciting.
Well, sure. You have to avoid, but all you have to avoid there is upsetting the wrong people, and then you can do whatever the hell you want.
Bit of much.
Look who's talking.
It's just... all I'm saying is that maybe a little more exciting would be good for me. Good kind of exciting. Kind that keeps you busy. Don't you miss that? Take a look at that murky water again. It seems just a little more stagnant.
I miss a lot of things, Sam. Some of the days will just look an awful lot like this one.
Sounds about to say something else, but then he doesn't.
But in all seriousness, Sam, it's time back to the station. They went nowhere, so I want a fresh and early start tomorrow.
Why is he blushing? I don't get what. Let's go then. Big Heidi puts his hand together, getting ready to shout.
Up and at 'em, boys. Me and Sam are going.
Nick sits up, does not change their eyes.
Well, this was nice while it lasted.
Looks at me and then looks away. Guess he's still upset with me. He shifts to Will again.
Mr. Tibbetts should sleep at the station if he's still a target, correct?
Yeah, Will. So we can keep an eye on him at all times. Will crosses his arms.
If he needs the assistance, he's welcome for the night.
Weasel holds up his paw. Now, enough doting. I can know myself fine, just thank you, and I left Kristoff at the station. No difference whether I spend the night there or not. Plus, I don't really mind watching over him tonight. More like I'm watching over you. Grazed or no, with the wound, you're still a proper invalid. These two are getting, off the chatty with one another. Sounds like just volunteer general bandages then. Professional offenses are no strangers to blood and nicks, you know. It put his hand on Will's shoulder.
Do not be discouraged by today. You work hard, but sometimes our heads work harder against us. Useful lesson, no?
Something like a look of realization spread across Will's face.
Shoot. Speaking of our work, I won't see you until the weekend, won't I, Nick? Likely no, unless you can make use of me after 7 p.m. before 11. Until later, Will.
Burns looks me over.
Samuel.
This is a bit stern with me, but at least he's talking to me, I suppose. Yeah, later.
We're off then.
Oh boy, I don't like how... Oh, this is cool. William chapter 3. I don't like how it flashed the mines there. I don't like how it flashed the mines there. Fuck that shit. Is it getting dark already? What the fuck? Where the fuck are you? 9:15 p.m. Which means it's really 7:15. 7... Oh my fuck. We're playing as William. Tasty. 7:15 here anyway. This watch has never been wrong before. Maybe a bit too flashy for me, but never too fast. Never too slow. Just keeps going from one day to the next. It's even waterproof. As my first boss said anyway. Waterproof by Georgia. God, he was so proud of that. As if anybody gives a shit if a wristwatch is waterproof or not. My muzzle split into a grin, but only for a bit. People get nervous when I smile. It's not the case with Sam, though. We're playing as William. Yay, another POV switch. I fucking love these. People around here have come to expect a sort of coldness from him. So when he smiles, it looks sweet enough to thaw winter. But he's in a bad mood again. That's because of Nick. Still some frostness between the two of them. It ain't usual to see Nick that distant from Sam, but... Then again, Sam's been treating us like strangers the past few weeks. At least I know he's not lying to me anymore now. But I guess that's good enough for me. But I guess what's good enough for me ain't always enough for Nick. It's a good thing that weasel didn't come with us. Both of us don't need to be more on edge. Glad he said no and Nick suggested he stay at the office. Because he really should say no. At least of any shame. He already put Sam in danger. Twice. If it was mildly to a goddamn lynch mob to Sam or Nick then gets them killed, I might up and join the next one. But already broke the skin on the Burns boy. He puts himself in the way. That Fox wants approval too much. Maybe... God damn it. It's not important right now. What is important is who placed the hit and if they'll place another. Huxley Green wouldn't leave his wife over a grudge from a stranger. He's too controlling. So where'd he go and what'd he do with the gun? Just needed to move faster, and think what I already know. Christ. Hard to focus on anything when I'm annoyed.
Hey, Sam.
Hear him pat out behind me, but his breath is louder than his footsteps.
Can we talk about you said the lake a little more?
His footsteps stop.
Which thing? Let's keep walking.
Okay. Which thing, William?
Thing I need more excitement. You've been them to leave the town for a long time, haven't you? Even before the night you told me about earlier.
And if I have, his tone was an edge in it again.
Just curious why. Things aren't easier just because you go someplace else.
It ain't about things being easy. It's just something about this place. Lowered his voice. And the brothel. Most folks I talk to there feel the same way. Like this is a place you move to, you stay for a while, and then you keep on moving once you scrap together enough money. Everybody's just constantly coming and going. Sometimes it feels like the whole goddamn city is a glorified train station. Only people who stay behind are the ones who lose their fare.
Me and Nick aren't stuck.
Nick will be gone the moment he finds the gold. He deserves a little more credit than that. And you're out of job the moment the public turns against you. Plan on keeping that badge out forever? Or did I miss you building houses on a day I wasn't paying enough attention? Because if you ain't, you're on your way out too, as far as I'm concerned. What a mouth.
There's not a whole lot of competition for this job in this location, Sam. You're right, I'm out. Being said, as far as I'm concerned, pessimism's only for losers.
Whatever, William. So that's it then? It's just a transitional period for you? I planned to leave before you even arrived. Can't completely blame you. My life has only ever been transitional too. Always coming, always going. Oh shit. Oh shit. Fuck yes. Fuck yes, we're getting some flashbacks. Yay! From place to place in one of the most transitional places in the country. Remember seeing hundreds of new faces I couldn't recognize every new day. Our lives shared briefly. Our time cut short chronically, viciously, by the L train, by the streets, by the churches, the businesses, the people. Find yourself begging for the transitions to end. No matter who you are, or what you do, or what you live, there's always another train stop. Tick-tock, says the clock. That's cool. That's cool. They added like little, I like that. How much of my life have I spent thinking of another transition? How many baseball games ended up end in my head early because I knew my team wasn't going to win? Too damn many. William, who the fuck is Hattie? But it doesn't matter if I'm here or there. You have a thoughtful look on your face. Because the transitions. Wanna know what you're thinking about? You never stop.
Just enjoying my drink.
Despite how much you want them to stop with you, you never enjoy your drink. Because they can't.
Today I am.
Your life transitions still, no matter where in time your mind is stuck. Sorry, excuse me. These are some seriously, they're true things. Life does transition no matter what, but, wow. You just said pessimism is for losers, and you're kinda pessimistic yourself, William, so... bit hypocritical.
I have something I have to tell you.
Then what is it? Sam, what is he? Hello? We're staring at the front door of the department. Could have sworn we still had half a mile before we got there.
I think you should stay here for the night again.
That's calm ammo on bed.
Meant that I'd pay.
Oh. I'll have to increase the rate to justify spending the night.
Done.
Didn't say how much yet.
Better described indoors then, yeah?
Yeah. But I managed to fish the goddamn keys in my pocket and fit them in the lock. I would feel more graceful if I weren't bumping into the lock. Won't be damned I'll step my gaze when I'm inside. We sleep near the jail again?
No, my bedroom, upstairs.
You see, that's a smile. That's a fucking smile. Oh, I never seen it.
It's messy. I don't mind. I do. And it can't be helped.
We climbed the stairs and reached the foyer. The tobacco smells cloying.
How much do you smoke, William? That ain't my fault, though.
At least not entirely. The place reeked of cigarettes when we moved in. Pipe smoke smells a hell of a lot sweeter.
I'll get used to it.
Usually the reek is something or other.
You're no better for yourself when you get riled up.
At least I use cologne.
You mean perfume?
I mean cologne, William. Soap and water's just fine. Open the cupboard and fetch a glass and the whiskey bottle.
Need a drink before you start?
Not much in the mood to drink.
Suit yourself.
Pour myself a shot and wash it down. Burn wakes me up a bit. Pressure from pants is starting to hurt.
My bedroom.
Turn my head and he follows me down the hall. I'm sorry, but yeah, I kind of see why everyone has a crush on Sam. He's fucking cute looking. That's really weird to say about the main POV character of the game, because, like, I get attached to them so fucking much. It's ridiculous. Don't have to rush. I'm gonna be here all night, you know. I'm rushing.
Guess I'm just used to having somewhere else to be. There aren't as many windows in my room.
Really hate rushing my body when I start to strip. Smell Sam's perfume when he follows my lead, but there's still the trace of his own scent underneath. About to take a seat on my bed, and the tension in the air between us is a bit thick.
You, gonna get on your knees again soon? Good.
That was not... whatever. Good, do. But I figured we could try something else this time. Something else since this is the first time you have more than an hour with me. Heat is rushing between my legs.
Like putting me inside you.
You have a gun? Pfft. Good grief, Sam. You made me too damn embarrassed.
Think I have that sort of thing just lying around?
Dumb question, I guess. Sam between my lap. I'm the only one who really touches this, aren't I?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. 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 It's a miracle you don't have to buy many slacks. Seems like out of room by now. I want to fucking kill those dogs so bad. I want to end their lives. I hate them.
It's your fault.
Nah. Girl just digit. Wow. This is all you.
How do you know that?
'Cause you're the one who brought it up, bearing it in me. Huh. 'Cause it slipped off my tongue.
Might just be the alcohol talking.
And I guess you don't want to be inside me.
Didn't say that.
So what do you want? I exhale. Don't want to deal with awkward small talk. I'm gonna talk like this because we're gonna talk for real. Oh boy, that's a loaded question. I love seeing Sam like actually expressed in front of me. Like having to imagine his expressions is it's fun and all, but like, you know, I like the POV switches a lot because you get in the head of different characters, you know things that the main character doesn't. It's really nice.
How much shame do you feel when a man finishes you?
I can't read that serious. I can't read that without cracking up. I'm sorry. Sam stopped. Yeah, he glared. Why do you want to know?
Just want to know what goes through your head when you do all this. Maybe so I can better understand myself. So let's talk about it, man to man.
Glare turned to a surprised look. Never thought I'd be talking about this with you.
Well, me neither, so fair.
Need to know. I always feel a little foul to doing the date, but the build-up is heaven. And the knee comes often.
Just a shame ever feel good.
What makes you ask that?
For me, I think the pain and the pleasure start to blur sometimes.
Oh. Okay, William. No. No.
The depravity, I mean. Ever feel like the more somebody tells you what's right or wrong, more satisfying it feels just to give them the finger? Especially because you know what feels good is not hurt nobody.
I understand. It's how every time I break one of your laws. It's not how the government works.
They ain't my goddamn laws, Sam.
Whatever you say, William. When I want to understand more what you mean about shame and pleasure blurring. You don't. You don't, Sam. You really don't. Oh, shit. Maybe I told him too much.
I don't think you want to go through that, Sam.
Well, maybe I ought to do to some extent. Help me. Wait, what? Maybe I ought to do to some extent. Help me explore that a bit.
You said you don't have condoms.
He lets out a short laugh. Fuck, I love seeing Sam. I just do.
Don't have any.
That's the hell of a way to say that you don't have an STD? Wow.
Think you'll be fine.
I think you'll be fine. Zeish's puts in a sheepish expression. No stove work.
Yeah, there's wood in the living room.
What about rags? You gotta make sure I'm clean. Christ on a cracker. What debonair bullshit I put myself into.
Claw scraps under the sink.
Already rushing out the bedroom. So, oh, neat. That one always has to make himself immaculate, doesn't he? Can we just go, Sam? God damn it. Read a small piece of literature on the city's zoning law to kill my erection while I hear pots and pans banging in the kitchen, along with some swears. He's lucky the sink works here. Wait for nearly 10 minutes before I hear sloshing around, a cloth being wrung. Oh! Oh my. Wow. Yeah, I can see why people like Sam a lot in this game. And 5 more minutes before he's finally back in the room.
Was all that really necessary?
I assure you it was. What we're about to do.
Fine, I won't make a fuss then.
You can see next to me and I put my arm around his waist. Sam was on my again. Tell me through what it's like when I touch you. Jesus, this is hard.
Feels like I'm touching a friend the way I shouldn't be touching them. There's a pit in my stomach. Like anybody could open the door at any moment and shout so loud that it makes my ears ring.
That scare you?
Should. Somehow the look of disgust in their face makes you want to rip your pants off and smile back while they watch. They can't do anything about it.
They can't do a damn thing if they ain't real.
They have to do with me making your...
Okay. Way you describe this stuff sticks with me. Even you make it sound a little foul.
Men are foul, Sam.
Okay.
Filthy, even.
Give more, of course. What the fuck? That's a bizarre description.
Think I'm at peace with that, at least.
Just as soon as they're starting to rumble. Is that why you can't keep your hands off me? 'Cause you know it's dirty? Okay, it's time to stop. I'll see you when this is over. Fuck off for now. Okay, I'm scared. I just have to show you. Oh no. Is he about to fucking handcuff him to the bed and do shit? Are you kidding? I was right? Oh no, 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 no. Wait, no, I mean, no, pause. Are you kidding? God damn it, I was right. Oh no. Oh no. So that's over now, and I have some things to say. You really should play this for yourself because that was a lot. That said a lot about William's character and his beliefs and the way he thinks. God, that was actually disturbing. The art only helped aid that creep factor, because again, the art in this game for those scenes is genuinely unsettling to me. So, a lot about control and like how your body has control over you and people have control over you and just to take it and all that bullshit. One of the lines that particularly set me off and being creeped out was sometimes I think our bodies are made to scream or something like that. No, that's not okay. That's not that's disturbing. Says a lot about his character, but those are some bad beliefs. Those are some possibly negative, problematic beliefs he holds. Anyway. I want to murder those dogs. Christ, that was exhausting. What the hell got in me last night? Somebody's banging the door of the office downstairs. It's morning? Shit. Don't remember falling asleep. We did so much I must have conked out. Sam was on his side with his back to me and his tail resting between my legs. Check my watch. It's almost 7 a.m. there, so 5 a.m. Shit. Touch my temples and rub, and I shake his shoulder. Time to wake up, sunshine. Already am. What the? Stop shaking. And when did you get up? Can't be sure. Feels like hours ago. Get enough shut-eye? Enough, yeah. Say, William? Still hasn't turned around yet. Looking up the walls. All the walls in this building hollow. Bit of a queer thing to say. Especially first thing in the morning. Sounds like it out too well, so they're insulated with something. Why do you ask? Shit. Okay, so basically all you missed was like, Sam woke up in the night apparently, and he like heard things inside the walls, and it's only everyone trying to get out. And William commented that that's the kind of stuff that makes him worry about Sam, and that Jack fella must have fucked him up. So, I mean, yeah, obviously that Jack fellow fucked him up. We know that intimately well by now. Shit, what the fuck? Okay. I didn't even click. I accidentally scrolled. Steps over his undergarments and drawers on the floor and tucks the fabric up his legs. So you're one volunteering to get the door, then? Walls towards the shades and tilts his head. Nah. Hurry up, I have to lock the door behind me. He's mumbling about eating his ass under his breath as if I can't hear him when he stitches his shirt, tucks it in, and hooks his suspenders over his shoulders. Finally, he's ready to go, and I lock the door on the way out. Todd's still pounding on the door like a madman. Hold your goddamn horses, I'm coming! Wouldn't finish his flurry of blow with the rope, turn the knob, letting the door creak open. Well, there you are, Sheriff. Looks a bit of a mess. Did you forget about the key, Todd? Oh, right. Well, that ain't important right now. I need to tell you that I met Hooks Green. That's good news, at least. Oh, yeah, what sort of state was he in? Well, none too good considering he didn't have a head. What? You mean he's dead? Well, that's what the wallet in his pocket said, but I brought his body just to make sure. Grabbed his shoulder and moved him aside and see the carcass-sized pillowcase. You dragged this all the way here? Feel like it to look at him before bugs and buzzing got the rest of him. My shortboard doesn't crouch down and lift the sheets off the butt. Don't show this. It's frozen, so it wasn't as bad as it could be, but there are pieces of flesh and fur missing. So definitely his clothes, though. I'd recognize Marcy's stitch work anywhere, and hard to mistake the thick, bold rat tail looks like a pale worm than anything else. Yeah, that's probably him. Saw him inside. Yes, sir. Doug carries one side and I carry the other into the open jail cell we had used the other night for the same purpose. Well, shit, another murder. Wondrous. I guess the hysteria is just getting closer as time goes on. Check outside again to see if we've dropped anything, but there's nothing much to look at.
Would have thought this man was lying low or hopped a train out of town. Something like this in a place like here. It's just yet another thing that doesn't make much sense.
Well, you know what they say. When it's your time, it's your time.
Who's they exactly?
Some Jesuits down the street.
Man had his head ripped off. He didn't die of old age.
Well, I already know that.
What if he's been dead for, let's be honest, what looks like a few days at least? You would have to real quick about... You would have had to be real quick about issuing a hit on Mr. Tibbets. See what I'm saying?
Todd blinks at me. Come on, you can put it together. You saying he just hated what he couldn't understand?
Saying he might not have placed the hit, Todd.
Not him, then who?
Now that's a great question, Todd.
Oh, it's cute.
This is why I always bring my notebook with me when I'm keeping track of my thoughts. Or stop picking up the practice yourself.
Where was the body found? Ask Todd later. Why not ask him now?
Now, what do you say we do that? Do what we should have done in the first place and pay Mr. Tibbets a visit.
Turn around and see the red of Sam's eyes staring from my office.
Be back soon. Keep the interior locked.
Okay. I forgot that Sam has red eyes. Even though it's literally the most distinguishing characteristic of what you see of an Echo, like just the red eyes, you know? Obviously albino, that's obvious. That's definitely a really big giveaway, but whatever. Disappeared behind the window, we heard the heavy lock of the door click.
Shouldn't be long.
Don't know if that's true, but he is just next door. So wait, what's Sam doing in there at this hour?
Debriefing.
Technically not wrong. Gee, I guess he does work late hours, doesn't he?
He works hard.
And there's no shame in that.
Didn't exactly say that, Todd.
I just mean that I think he must have to do all sorts of really difficult things. Give him a look.
Think about these things a lot, Todd.
No. Does anything else for the rest of the walk? Wouldn't that be funny? An ancestor to Sydney and, he's gay. That would be fucking hilarious. Also kind of fucked up considering that Sid's dad was a fucking asshole Mormon. When you reach the door to Mr. Tippet's apartment, some things immediately don't make sense.
His lock is scratched to hell and back.
Still don't know to see if it's still up or it's completely loose.
I told you once, I'll tell you again, you're not welcome here. I'll have you know that if you knock down that door, they thought to be here in an instant.
It's just us, Mr. Tibbets.
Oh, thank goodness.
Some of the furniture move around, some rattles against the door. The door pops open, the twitchy little man takes a step back.
Please come in, I'll put on some tea.
Look on.
Back with a bit of bergamot, surely.
It won't be necessary, Mr. Tibbets, but do what makes you feel comfortable. Just get straight to the point and tell us what the hell's going on up here.
Well, I had thought that was patently obvious, and I'm frightened, Sheriff.
Don't get cute. Frightened of who?
Of that brute and bully who calls himself Reed. That wolf came clawing at my door tonight and broke the lock.
Oh, his drawings are cute.
It's terrible. That's not the half of it. He would probably have barricaded the door with all the furniture I could put together in this ramshackle apartment.
So you know it was him for sure.
So it was filling his kettle and striking a match beneath the wood stove.
I'd know that greasy fur and those dumpy little eyes anywhere. And if I were blind, there'd be of course the smell. You know, Mustard's got all sorts of earfuls about we put off an offensive odor some of our ordinary body sense. But canines are a particular kind of reek to them that's unmistakable. Stopped all of a sudden, a bit flushed in the ears. Well, he's raw about that, William. I do not give one iota of a fuck about this conversation.
Mr. Tibbets, please focus. I'll check in to read.
That's splendid, because I won't feel a moment's peace with that madman on the loose.
I'd like you to stay at the station for a while.
You think I'd feel safe inside of a prison cell?
Nobody said nothing about prison cells.
William has a comfy couch in his office. Hey, guys, stood there plenty of times. Don't taxpayer dollars, I hope. Joe looks just got in the face with a shovel. No way able to handle somebody like Cliff on his own.
Let's talk about the other things to do to keep you safe.
Turned to look at me as he was filling a metal capsule with dry leaf and flower bundles. Such as?
It's a common protocol to investigate a victim a little closer after they've been attacked. Helps us piece together a few things.
Places 3 teacups on his little table. I think you'll find a bit in books, so ask away. This is weird. Seeing his sprite reversed, it's weird looking.
Let's start with who you think might want you dead.
Seems rather obvious, doesn't it?
Just tell me who you think it is.
Huckstein, without a doubt.
Okay.
Watch his expression as he puts down his little teacups on the table.
But who else?
His lips curl, and he looks sideways. Trying to mean that he was thinking about it before I asked him. Perhaps somebody who doesn't want me here. Now we're getting somewhere.
Why go all the trouble to use violence to stop your academic endeavor?
A little bit closer.
Hear plenty of stories about how cutthroat field academia is without ever needing any bloodshed.
Cuddle whistles. A moment. You can tell he's relieved by this distraction. Sugar and cream.
Sugar and cream. So who do you think might use violence against you, Cliff? Because they don't want you here.
Pours his own cup of tea first, then Todd's, then mine. Perhaps some greedy businessmen who don't see eye to eye with my benefactor. I doubt I'll know their name. I know their names.
So who is the benefactor that brought you to Echo?
Same man who drew you here, from what I understand.
Name him, please.
Sorry, but that's confidential.
Mr. Tibbets, just because I ask you nicely doesn't mean you can withhold that information. This is basic information pertinent to whether or not your worker's permit can be deemed valid.
Well, bend my arm, why don't you?
The name, Tibbets.
Very well. It's Mr. Hendricks, of course. Of course it is. This Warriors drawings are so cute. Agnes works with James. Oh, I don't like that. This cutie worked with that piece of shit. Great. Wondrous. Not surprised at all. This is exactly the kind of clown shit that would have his name all over it. Want to rely on as few assumptions as possible.
Could I see your official paperwork?
I don't see how that's relevant to anything, but of course. Picks up the satchel by his feet, unlatches it, and plucks a gray folder from him and passes it to me. Thumb through it. States his full name, Clifford Tibbets, and his job title, consultant in gold letters. Health information follows.
This is beautiful stationery.
Thank you. Hand it back to him.
Government issue typeface is bare bones and clinical. This is a CGCS form, not an official government verification.
I'm afraid my work permit is still moving through the post. I'm lucky it should be arriving in a week or two, and you'll have your paperwork then. As far as I can tell, everything this man has told me has been truthful. But I can tell all his cards still aren't on the table.
What's something official can have to prove you are who you say you are?
Would travel tickets suffice, Mr. Adler?
Better than nothing.
What's the last thing that I have? Slides me a ticket. States a passage for one person on an ocean liner, a Cornelis Van Houwelingh.
Your ticket, Mr. Tibbets.
That's mine.
This is a ticket for a man called Cornelis.
Looks downward. And that's, my birth name. I don't believe it's criminal of an alias, is it, Sheriff Adler? God, he's just so good at drawing. Oh, gosh, he's so cute.
Not really, no.
Lots of people do it. Especially when they're writing books. It's a bit romantic about your name, isn't it? All you have to do is pick your mother's maiden name as your own, and suddenly you can turn yourself into a sports writer rather than a romance author. Anything you want, really. But there's a difference between calling yourself something new and living out a good part of your life as that something. You might not want to be what you choose to become. Life isn't a pen name or a book cover or a change of scenery. It's everything you are. My wristwatch sounds too damn loud again.
It's just a bit concerning with everything that's happened around you is all.
Oh, well, that's my fault, is it? Weasel sips his tea. You bit off more than you can chew when you took this job, didn't you?
Hey! Why are you being so unneighborly with us?
Stowe gestures broadly to his wrecked living room. Because I'm a little frightened right now, Mr. Bronson. I think we want the same things, though, right, Sheriff? I help you unmask some of the monsters trying to murder me, and I just keep telling you the truth like I always have. But just let me hold on to the idea of what I want to be a little longer, and let me keep using that new name. So there it all is, then.
I can recognize a fair deal when I see one.
Got my paw to him. Clasps it cautiously.
You gonna stay at the station then, or what?
Let me go wake Mr. Burns first. I'll be away shortly.
Burns is here.
He has work early. I didn't want to wake him.
Thought you said you were attacked.
You think I can riposte, Mr. Adler? I told you I can take care of myself. Mr. Burns was running a fever and he's practically naked at the moment.
I'll give y'all some space then.
Very good, I shan't be long.
We waited a while outdoors until we see a very weird-looking Murdoch emerge from the apartment. Looks from side to side, rolling his snout, making his way toward the direction of his father's store. Staggers a bit, but he makes his way there. Mr. Tibbets leaves the apartment 5 minutes later with a heavily stuffed bag and follows us to the station. I feel like I'm in the calm of a hurricane before the storm comes. I think I was right about the disaster following this weasel, but I don't think he's the one stirring up trouble by far. Considering the way Huxley died, and with Cliff having ties to James, I'm almost certain now that the rat didn't place the hit in the Stoat. But if that's the case, then how did he get the gun? And if Cliff was telling the truth, then why was Reed trying to break into his apartment? Did they plan to hit together and then somehow Mr. Green before he lost the gun? Maybe. I have to have a chat with Reed again before I have any reason to believe he has that much spite. Because as of now, that still doesn't make much sense to me. I'd pin down Reed as a guy willing to get his own hands dirty, or just start shit when he's bored. He could definitely beat a man to death in broad daylight if we're mad and drunk enough. But plotting a murder while sober? I just can't see it. If the two of them already jumped this weasel in broad daylight, then what's the point of giving a kid a traceable gun to take care of in secret? Maybe they just fucked it up. Simple as that. Case closed. But then how did his goddamn head get severed? Here I have more than a few things to consider now. I could go to the mayor and have a little chat about how things are going. At any time, really. He spends most of his time off in his office, doing nothing, when there isn't a ribbon to cut or a speech to unload. And he has no real jurisdiction over me. Or I go to the Stag that Nick and the Burns boy keep bringing up from time to time. It's the biggest men's club in town, and more importantly, I know that the mining union tends to congregate there. Perhaps the suggestion to go there wouldn't be a waste of time after all. Tricky thing is, wherever I go first will take all day. If I want Nick's help at the Stag, it'll have to be at night. But I want more private eyes with the mayor, and I don't want Nick there at the Stag with me. I should maybe go to the Stag first. Regardless, I shouldn't stall. Good question. Where am I going first? Well, so this is interesting. I don't really think City Hall would do anything for us because, I just don't think it would. Stag seems like it might get results because maybe people there know shit.
Todd, watch over the station. We'll head to the Stag.
Oh, so you finally gonna learn how to dance, Sheriff?
This isn't for fun, Tom. I'm going to scope out the place and ask some questions. I already know how to dance.
I guess you shouldn't be surprised. You do know an awful lot. Why don't you show him how, Sheriff? Seems eager. Oh, shut the hell up, Sam. I've been told I can be very eager. Numerous times. Nah, this is something I think the sheriff should do. Smarmy shit.
You're an expert in moving your legs, you do it.
Sam's a dancer? No.
Oh, nonsense. Everybody's a dancer when they find the right rhythm. Oh, let's find some music and make some ourselves.
Have fun, Sam.
Oh boy. Poor guy. It's definitely interesting experiencing this through William's eyes. I guess it's finally time. I guess it's time to finally move to this club. Know the directions, roughly. Which means I'm going to be walking for a while. For one of the busiest places in town, it sure is out of the goddamn way of everything. But considering the kinds of things that go down there, I suppose it's part of the point. Looks like a massive barn. Doesn't smell like one. Know what a bar smells like. Wide double doors are held open by a big rock, so it doesn't look like this place is closed often. Hope this is worth it. There's barely a crowd right now. I need to find Reed. Marcy may know what happened to the gun. So what was Reed up to he didn't place Hidden Cliff? Hendrix is usually up to something. Worst thing is probably not illegal. Could a CGC's employee placed a hit on Cliff? Or was it somebody, check out the bar. Seen opening to fit into the bar, so I sit on one of the bar stools right now so I don't miss my chance. Bartender strolls over slowly.
What'll it be? Just a scotch on the rocks.
Ain't it a bit early for that?
You want me to just order water instead?
Barkeep turns his head and squints at me.
Hey, I know you.
Oh boy, here comes trouble. You're Sheriff Adler. There's some adjustment seats next to me.
Right, now I'm just thirsty, thanks.
How come you're not wearing your badge?
Because I don't intend to need it for folks to know who I am.
And I'm on a case.
Saying you have time to talk with me?
Your drink will be right out. Hers when I could feel the breath leave my lungs. That's what I thought. That was a scene that didn't need to be one. So folk clear the seats beside me. Big Sonoran Wolf stares at me through the space they've left behind. Oh! Oh, hello. Stands up, saunters over with a bit of a swagger, then takes the seat next to me. Bit odd out there for the lawman, ain't it?
Heard it there for most people. Patronizing moment won't get you far.
Easy there, tough guy. Who says I'm looking good anyway? And instructs his beer glass within the next finger.
Your posture, your tone, your gaze. You like to play games.
What's so wrong with a game or two? Kane's the name. Feel a groan around my throat.
That don't even rhyme.
Call me a poet? Careful now, I could take offense to that. Sip a little deeper and don't mind the burn.
You want to waste your own time, go ahead, but there's not a whole lot of scotch in this glass.
Truth be told, I just like to think your scars are interesting.
Be careful what you call interesting.
Can't I know how you got him?
Swiped to the face was me getting too close to a thug after knocking a gun out of his hand. Sliced me into ribbons.
What about that chunk out your ear?
Just a bit of good old-fashioned torture.
Say that pretty casual-like.
Just trained for it.
It's good you know how to bounce back.
Most men don't get far if they don't.
Too true. Say, do you like to brawl, Sheriff?
Why, you want to find out?
Would you fight me if I gave you a kiss?
It's real cute.
Who's joking? Hell's with this guy?
Thanks, but I don't have the time.
Biddy. I define folk anyone can push as high as they give.
Suppose that's true. But I finished my drink.
Find me some other time when I get physical, lawman. Just for a bit of fun.
I'm flattered.
on my back as I rise on my seat. Wow, good grief. Oh boy. Good thing it's him in the mirror across the room if he tries any sudden moves. Upper beam, I guess. It's gotta be somebody useful to talk to nearby. Might be easier to scope out the place of look from a higher position. Might as well climb up the ladder and see what I gotta work with. There's a severe-looking fellow in Eastern clothing sitting by the rails by himself. Looks like a sable. Oh, it's you. It's you. Might think that was he might think that he was minding his business, but I caught him staring multiple times, which either means he's curious about me or wants me to leave. Let's find out which.
Mind if I take a seat?
Dabs his pen and ink, and again he keeps writing. If you insist, I will be involved in my work.
Sort of work.
Translation.
Keep giving me looks so you know who I am, don't you?
Difficult not to.
Well, I promise I'm here to give you a hard time. I just hope that the good people here can help me understand a little bit more about James Hendricks and his relationship with his employees. I have reason to believe that somebody might be trying to hurt his employees, and some folks are already hurt.
I no longer work there, so I would not know.
Do you know anything that could help support the claim that Mr. Hendricks is putting his own employees in danger?
Sable looks like he's thinking. I can tell you something general.
Anything helps.
Mr. Hendricks very blatantly has favored employees. However, so does Mr. Briggs. There's very little overlap in those two groups, and it's traditionally bred resentment. Oh, cool, we crossed an eye. I like that. Seems like the CGCS employees lower the company don't even get along. Some favor James, some favor Briggs. That's neat. I like that. Huh. But that's all I can tell you.
Thanks, you've been very helpful, Mr. What was your name again?
Call me Jiba. Try to pronounce it, but it's a bit of a mouthful.
Thank you, Mr. Jiba.
Don't call for me anytime. Strange fella. Shame about his hand. He's probably only gonna get out people right now. Think I'm done here. Tired of the smell of sweat and rye whiskey. Seems like all I can learn from here at the moment. It's about time to head back to the station. William's been away for a while now. Oh, we're back with Sam. Cool. It's hard not to think about that whole experience last night. How I described the body fighting against the mind, and our bodies being cages, and how we come to hate and love our cages at the same time. Paul says, for the mind that is set in the flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's laws. Indeed, it cannot. Never much cared for Paul. He didn't even do Jesus. Oh boy. And he doesn't have much interest in leading through the struggle of sin. His advice is more or less, just don't have it, yeah. Bible's pretty fucked up as a book, but it has at least some hints of wisdom. Ecclesiastes, for instance, I think that's the book. It's just a bunch of life advice. Makes me think he lied a lot to make people only hate their cages. To revel in death, to revel in breaking out of them as soon as we can. To rush into some place they don't know, blind to faith or eternal death. Doesn't sound like Jesus at all. If he sins against you 7 times in one day, and each time he comes to you saying, I repent, you must forgive him. Not 7 times, but 77 times. Jesus believed that sin and redemption were a journey. Paul didn't want to walk at all, so to speak.
Who in the blazes does this?
Think I have a lot of special jazz numbers that he worries about getting the scratch to taken. There's not been a whole lot to do for those two once they found out Will locks his record cabinet.
Sure, he must leave something cheap out. Very least I hold a jingle or two.
I wouldn't say she was much of a Noel type. Both flinch when somebody knocks at the door. Is Will found the back? Nah, his own keys won't make sense for him to be knocking. Be back in a jiffy.
Bit of an odd expression. So what happened to know what's the increment of time that constitutes a jiffy?
No. It's just an expression people say.
heard people use it at my university, but it's much prevalent here. How fun.
Ain't you have a lady friend at the door? I lowered his voice. She smells real nice, like apples. Cynthia walks on up to us through the doorway. She's more dolled up than usual.
Cynthia?
Good afternoon, Sam.
Hello, Miss Cynthia.
Oh, you took me by surprise. Good afternoon, Mr. Tibbets.
You look absolutely radiant today.
Thank you. Now, I don't mean to be curt. Might have some privacy, Mr. Ayers.
Cliff could.
Order the lady, move out! Separately tackles Cliff out of the office, leaving Cynthia alone with me. Christ, Todd, I thought somebody else could have been a problem. It's been a few days. Yeah, I suppose it has. Guess I kind of lost track. Walks over to his distant wife into his drawers. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing? Learning. That's illegal, Cynthia. Tremendous. Pulls out a notebook, flips you a few pages, rips them out. Lord have mercy, what are you up to? Saviors are taking a few things about me and some friends that he has, that's all. See the big deal? He's gonna know you took them. Don't just lie. You shouldn't have this stuff in the first place. He's working on a case, for Christ's sake. Might screw something up. Much request information, then you can ask these girls for it to their faces. Sound good? Whatever. Is he using to spy on people? He hasn't asked. Make sure he doesn't. I roll my neck. If he doesn't, that's my call to make, isn't it? Puts his drum back as neatly as she found it. I'm warning you, Sam. We're gonna let it work with the first to get blamed when shit hits the fan. Happens to friends in Colville and Peyton. It's definitely happened before here, too. Wouldn't he have done that to me already if they're gonna do it? I never said I think he dislikes you, Sam. That's the story of the black lad and stuffs them into her purse. She's gonna know where he is, and I don't think you should either. Just find a way to protect yourself so you don't have to use it. Come back to work tonight. We miss you. Alright, I go in. Hear the front door open. My throat dropped when I hear William's voice.
I'm back, Sam.
Bound for him, Cynthia just crossed her arms.
And Cynthia, too?
Didn't damage around by here either, but it's the only way to see Sam for days, and I guess that's all I can do. Just a person walked past Will into the doorway. Just right afternoon, gentlemen. Know where to find me. Come on, Sam. Fucking tell him.
Hell's going on in here?
She's mad I'm not at the brothel enough.
Perfect timing, then.
Somebody out of the pocket and put it in my hand.
For last night. Should be enough to get them off your back for a while, right?
It won't hurt. But I think she wants to see me more. Will shrugged.
Then maybe we should start paying.
Hilarious.
Brought you something to eat.
What, more beans? It's a sandwich. Really nice looking one. That smoked salmon?
There's a nice place downtown that was open.
Did you get anything for yourself?
I ate one on the way.
Really? You're not telling him? You're not fucking telling... Wow. I'm glad Sam likes the sandwich. Cat's supposed to like salmon, right? Sam needs to sleep. Oh my gosh, he looks cute there.
Alright, I'm about to see me and your testerman. Still able to keep watch everything when I'm gone, Todd.
Sure thing. Did I hear that you're playing old friends another visit? Why, that's basically an honor.
Not really. He just wants to ask me whether or not the city is close to a state of emergency.
That sounds like him, alright. Old friends always looks out for us. Seemed like only yesterday when I was a pup, when he gave an old Roman Willoughby his own jacket on Easter Sunday. I remember how she had her feet turned so cold. When Dottie paid a house call, she said she nearly died. But she dreamed about France. In her dreams, he was an angel, William. He brought her back from the cold while she was asleep.
So you're saying that it's the bare minimum that most people would do for an old woman and then took credit for saving her life?
Oh, the world looks mysterious ways, William. I think you could either pretty much saved her life, no matter how you look at it. This poor man.
That's nice, Todd.
Lots of things that I've just stopped to think about him. These These things hast thou done, not kept silent. Silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them all before thine eyes. Sam is staring down at a pocket Bible, looks angry. Now consider this, that ye forget God, lest I tear you into pieces and that there be none to deliver. Psalm 50, 21, 22. Just the page between his paws with a crisp snap. You just sound like Jim Preacher Man, Sam. Well, I'm not. Just thought it was an important thing to share. I'll admit I need to brush up my Old Testament, but the way you said that made me feel like I was sweating in the pews. You read the Book of Mormon? Sam still looks a bit mad, now Cliff looks uncomfortable.
Well, I'll leave this thrilling theological conversation to you, all of you. Bye.
Sam sure is invested in the Bible. You'd think he'd sucked off enough men to be put out by all the bitching about idolatry, but he keeps getting wrapped up in all the metaphysics. Well, yeah, metaphysics is fucking awesome. I love that shit. Nobody's mad at Todd. Todd believes in a loving and affectionate God. Sam believes in a wrathful God. It's like he wants there to be something real that he can be afraid of. Alright, I think that's enough church for me today. No shit. Downtown is always so wide open when I go there. Wind picks up between the tall buildings and makes the wooden shutters rattle. It's the closest reminder of my city, other than the bars after dark. Bars always have the same sticky smell no matter where you are in the world. It's like to run into Judge Miller, the clerk Chrissy Smalls, or somebody filed for their liquor license. But what I see instead is Reed Morris. Oh my god, he has a Sprite. This dipshit has Sprite now.
You stop right there, Reed.
Oh god, fucking damn it.
I have some questions for you.
I don't have time for your flea-bitten ass today.
It's not how this works. Keep your hands where I can see them and I don't make a scene.
Well, I'm under arrest for the 50th fucking time.
Guess it depends. It'll be just like old times. We're used to each other by now.
You're gonna fill me up like a Not gonna read that. Strip my rights again.
You're the one who's thinking that, not me.
Go ruin somebody else's day, you son of a bitch.
Cut the shit. Did you break into Mr. Tippett's apartment last night or not?
Looks guilty. Yeah, it's a whole lot more to it than that.
So you're not even trying to lie about it?
Yeah, fucking fruit or something to Huxley. Goddamn, no they did.
What if he didn't read? You just went off and beat his door down like a goddamn lunatic.
Besides some she-guy's ass being took revenge on my friend. And I'm sure it's not I can trust your she-ass to feel about, or because you're not even let me in the first place.
Need you to stop talking for a few minutes and start listening. Some kid tried to shoot up my office 2 days ago using Huxley's pistol.
His revolver? He'd buy him, he could have bought it.
Not a 15-year-old without a job and no parents. Sales records indicate he bought it back.
According to Reed, Huxley's gun was pawned. Sales records indicate, yeah. I like how, it updates, that's cool. Now he's sweating.
It's a hell of a lot of evidence that can implicate the two of you for attempted murder, damaging government property, and endangering the life of 2 officers. Hell, there's more than enough to string you up.
We didn't do none of that.
I don't think you did either, you dumb asshole.
Blinks looks confused.
Breaking in is unacceptable, and you will pay for that crime in time, but just talk for me a bit, and I'll have it so you won't have to spend the rest of the day in jail.
Okay, shoot.
Why did you pawn the gun in the first place?
To have money troubles.
Why's that?
Man with troubles got a drink. No, he doesn't. Huxley was an alcoholic who needed more money for his drinking habit. I wonder where he was getting the cash. Hendrick, yeah, okay, cool.
Little too much, maybe.
Yeah, as the rich biz want to hear about you.
I can afford my drinks, Reed. What made him live beyond his means?
His problems. Had problems, I don't think you can handle that yet.
Yeah, I know, I saw what his problems did to Marcy.
Well, you think she doesn't like it that way, too? Greasy fur bends into a slow, cracked smile and his eyes wrinkle. His moldy cotton smell and my father's smell is awakened makes me want to puke up bile. Yeah, I think about it, he was acting different lately.
Different how?
Longer hours at the bank. Sound paranoid.
Mr. Tibbets?
No, Tibbets just made him laugh. I wasn't scared of all that mad little affair. Something was troubling him like he's starting to get it. Kept talking about buying back that pistol like he was going to defend himself soon, but I hadn't thought I ain't yet.
And this was after you both had your quarrel, Mr. Tibbets.
No, this was happening before.
So who would have had an eye on the gun?
Marcy would know where she hid it. He always kept it close to her. Cool. Right. Of course he did.
So maybe a shot with Marcy would have been a little smarter than tearing down Mr. Tibbets' apartment then, huh?
May I go now?
Sure, but I want to see 100 yards within that stoat, or we're gonna have ourselves a more punctual problem.
I don't give a damn he didn't take the gun. But if Marcy says that he did take it, I'll kill him.
To ask somebody to shoot at him?
Maybe.
Brilliant, that would make a whole lot of sense.
Find out soon enough anyway. Turns and walks away stiffly in the alley.
Don't think I'll come looking for you later when it's time to pay repair costs for that apartment.
Looks like the bird. What a living waste of space for someone. But at least I know to visit later. Marcy Green might be the key to all this after all, even if her husband played no part in trying to kill somebody. Maybe Huxley thinks he was acting paranoid when he bought back the gun, but considering his current state, it sounds like he was right to be afraid. But who's strong enough to rip a head clean off a body? Just another question for later. Town hall is predictably empty on a Monday. Most town meetings are on Saturdays, but that's also when people tend to pick up their licenses. Christy's in at reception right now, but I've been through these halls, so I won't need to wait for her. Fuck you. I love it as my first reaction. Fuck you. Well, goodness gracious, if it isn't my favorite public servant. So that's why friends called a day. Which, you go to City Hall. Let that change.
Shaking the mayor down for favors again.
Well, what else is the mayor good for anyway? It's very grateful to have more things to do. Besides, bearing fame more your line of work, is it not?
Only when I have to.
Of course. You've had ample time to practice bearing your guilt.
Not talking like I want to make Mary and exchange quips. You know something that could help you no more in a transformation.
Well, why didn't you say so? Here, I thought you were just talking me to pat about the ex-wife.
No, then talk about that too.
Why not move this conversation to the library? It's a perfect place for sharing information with men with noble character.
Still talk to the mayor.
James rolled his eyes. He's always available.
So are you.
Now there's a private fantasy. Since you have such a great sense of humor, I'll make sure to dally at the library so you can catch me there. Feel free to speak with the mayor first if you insist. Till then, Sheriff. Fuck you, James. Fuck you, James. I could follow up on James's offer, but then again, I'm already here. Let's get this over with then. Step into Testerman's office. Big rat is pecking away his typewriter, but he steps up when he sees me.
Well, it's about time, Adler.
There's some road bumps in the way, but I'm here.
Hendricks is writing to cover all sorts of donation money if we don't set this right fast.
Start laughing.
What in Lord's name is funny about that?
Let's start with the essentials. My operation continues to place blame on CGCS management for the death of this particular miner. Tension is calm on the surface, but the resentment brews below. Deputy Bronson found another dead body last night.
Switch changed from one of anxiety to a look of sheer panic.
Another miner?
No. Was once a banker.
The relief washed over him.
This wasn't related to their case then.
Man is still dead, Mr. Testerman.
Moving to himself.
Sometimes it can't be helped. And take all sorts of risks to make it out here, and not everybody can. There are some fights and freak acts and hasty decisions accompanying moral acts.
His head was ripped off.
Oh, so probably an animal.
Could be.
Now I feel a lot better.
Are you sure that you should? I didn't say this was an animal for certain.
Do any of your discoveries call for state of emergency evacuation?
I wouldn't say so, unless this death is an isolated incident. I have reasonable suspicion to think that it could be linked to a targeted attack on one of the CGCS employees.
But you just have suspicions, not proof. That's what you said, right?
That would be right, but odds are...
I mean, I think we'll be kind not to sensationalize a tragedy.
Surmises he's looking for approval, he's about to say,
wouldn't it?
I think that that should always be a priority, but what I'm telling you is that whatever this is, it probably ain't over, and it probably ain't isolated from CGCS affairs. So I want to prepare a statement ahead of time if things go to hell in a handbasket. Don't want to get caught with your britches down.
I think I'm pretty optimistic about the future, Mr. Adler. Just keep me informed of the present, please.
Okay then. There are presently some signs of very clear scandals at that company that will make their way to the surface soon.
That company is our town's lifeblood, Adler.
Well, that's fine, but ignoring it will make it all go away.
But isn't it your job to prevent a state of panic?
Saying that if all these problems go back to CGCS management, then the panic is just going to keep coming back like clockwork.
But you still need proof before you can bandy about these claims. I swear to God, this man is thick as pig shit.
Didn't make claims. I shared suspicions. Let me make something very clear to you, Franz Testerman. I don't work for you, but if you ask me for help and you aren't willing to take it, there's not much I can do for you. I do think this could lead to a public crisis, so I think you should prepare for that.
And I'll tell you something, Mr. Adler. I will say it once, I will say it 100 times over. I must see the Amazon must sway you to act. Why is that so hard for you to accept?
The more I look in this man's eyes, the more I know he has no interest in evidence. He'll see what he wants to see when it needs to be true.
Do you already have a contingency plan in place for evacuating a population of over 6,000 then?
There's presence in place if such a need arises.
And you practice them.
Once again, I will not disrupt daily routines on the basis of an assertion.
Alright, this is going nowhere.
Then let's conclude this meeting.
Turn up hand on the knob.
Wait.
Yes.
Do you really think things are that bad?
Yes.
Rips around the kerchief.
I could review the evacuation plans, but quietly let getting the public involved. But just a backup plan, I still have no intention of officiating an evacuation.
That's what I've been saying, Testerman.
It's better than nothing. I have to go now.
And keep me updated then.
Call if it's important.
What a headache. Admiration shared among noble souls. Here I thought were a couple of bastards. At least I can understand that. Pitiful. Library is big, but it's pretty underutilized because, well, let's face it, not a whole lot of people here like to read, which I don't entirely get considering how little there is to do. Doesn't take long to find him. He's reading a newer book by the looks of it. Fuck! Oh no! I don't like how Dubliners is a fucking great book, but I don't like how this piece of shit is reading it. Whatever. Bodyguards written in the corner, open to magazines.
Let's keep this quick.
Don't act so suburban, Mr. Adler. There's a treasure trove of knowledge all around you. Enjoy yourself.
Not interested. You really did bring Hattie here. Why?
My, you're so accusatory.
That's because I'm accusing you of something.
You're wrong too, you know. But the page will be of another short story. Araby. God, that one's so good. I'm geeking out about Jet Joyce. Fucking Dubliners, everything he wrote was great. Well, I've read Finnegan's Wake Up, I'm going to read it eventually. She's the one who reached out to me, not the other way around. I only did for her what I did for you. She just needs some understanding to orient herself in someplace new.
How generous of you.
I am generous.
When it's inconvenient for me, sure. Why'd you tell her where I live?
Now that I can't talk about.
Did your generosity suddenly run dry?
No, I mean, I simply don't know.
Horse shit.
Why do I need to lie? I generally don't know, and that's gonna put you in the most amusing little tizzy. But how about grant me some of your generosity now? Share.
Guess you'll have to ask yourself why somebody would try to assassinate one of your business associates.
Open eyebrow. Which?
Little fella goes by the name of Clifford Tibbets.
He hummed. Well, that's no good at all. He's such a cod and much more fun than you. What kind of cow put their hands on such a lawful boy? I'll have to keep much closer on him from now on.
I could help you with that.
Your stalwart sense of justice really is invigorating. Always knew deep down that you like me. Takes a lot of willpower not to rip that book out of his hands and beat him with it.
So help me understand.
Well, let's see. As is typical of older workhorses, too many of them tend to keep very old-fashioned ideas. They might not approve a foreigner in a high-ranking consultation position. Particularly the man closest to my most important business partner, Mr. Briggs.
Do you have the names of these men?
Not really. There's simply too many. They're all very close-minded. But it shouldn't be too complicated picking out a crowd. Tend to smell like raw earth after all. Sets his book shut. If it wasn't one of them out of ideas. Then again, that one does have a bleeding heart. I wouldn't be surprised if he spilled his guts out to some savage that took it the wrong way.
You stop speaking. Now.
Oh, don't be so sensitive, Adler. I'm not a monster, and I don't begrudge you for the prime blood on your mother's side. That I think you're the best of two worlds. Raw and the refined. See a pebble on the table. Pick it up and flick it at his cheek. Oh, what the fuck? Am I bleeding? Damn, he is. Hope it stings, you son of a bitch. Arthur puts his hand out to make him stop. Smiles real big at me. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Waving with his bloody hand. Till next time.
Always an affable time.
Doesn't take too long for James and his men to clear out of the library. Hey, James bleed was funny. Oh, you never much cared for Joyce. Fuck you too, William. Here's somebody else stir up us behind the library stacks.
Who's there? Come out and show yourself.
It's you. I fucking love you. It's only me. Hear a thin, cheery voice.
Who the hell's me?
The librarian.
Oh, makes sense. Now I feel silly. My apologies, I don't think I hear anybody there.
Pottermore. But don't bother apologizing. After all, it did happen to hear a good chunky conversation.
Fair game in the public library. Supposed to be quiet in them after all.
I'm afraid I must insist. You are looking for our information, aren't you?
Well, what do you know?
I know that you collect information from the prostitutes at the hip in exchange for loose adherence to the law. But other than that, not much about you, I'm afraid.
Alright, who the hell are you?
I already told you. I'm just a librarian. You trade information with a co-owner of CGCH, but not with me. Now that feels unfair. At least allow me to give you something free as token of goodwill.
Alright then, what do you got?
James has a voracious sexual appetite. You'll find that he sleeps with many works at the hip to satisfy his curiosities. One of them is loyal to him now and will tell you nothing useful. They'll be active hindrance to you. Would you like to know their name?
Sure, why not?
Now that'll cost you something.
Oh, does it now?
You can pay me money, you can pay me information.
How much?
$50.
I think I see.
Is the price too high?
Not necessarily. But I understand what diminishing returns are. My secrets are more valuable when I'm the source. And that'll go farther than putting up in your information market.
Well done. Just don't compete with me, I might regret it.
I assure you, we're in different businesses.
Apparently at least one person who works at the biz leaked information to James.
Apparently so. Gosmer Smile walked away. So there are people that have a motive to hurt Mr. Tibbets. I think I've learned all that I could. That's just about enough of this place for now. Time to go. Everywhere I've been to today seems to be pointing me in the same direction. The hip. Dora has carved out a sizable space in this podunk. CGCS put Echo on the map economically, but the brothel is the only thing in town that attracts genuine celebrities. Not everybody might be able to afford the hip daily, but everyone's been there at least once. And it's not just the prostitutes who love the madam. Mormons and Masada, Marxists and capitalists, atheists and Protestants, suffragettes and satirists, bull moose boys and yes-men's conservatives. They might not break bread together, but they mingle in and out, day and night, under the uneasy solidarity of sex and socialization. It's 1 a.m. there, so it's 11 p.m. here. Walk up the stairs and go through the double doors. Powder room is fully active. First person I look for is the person I don't want to see. And I don't see her for now, but I have no idea how long I'll have. Might have time to interview only one person. Cynthia is flitting to and from every single male in the room during conversations.
Evening, Cynthia.
Gives me a look. Evening, Adler.
Saw you come back from the station today.
And?
Just wondering what it's all about. You left in a bit of hurry when you saw me walk through the door.
Sorry to have a conversation with Sam when you're monopolizing him. The hell?
It's crazy talk.
Is it now? I barely see him at work and now he's running around town with you.
He's a free agent.
Funny how you're saying that. You know he told me, don't you? He did what? Seems like that scares you.
Because it does.
Now why's that exactly? Lower my voice to a whisper.
Because it could get him into deep trouble.
Or maybe you're just scared it'll convince him to take advantage of his fear. The hell's gotten into her?
You tell that story to anybody with loose lips and you'll damn him, woman.
You really think the word of one Masada hooker is more trustworthy than the big shot sheriff? You're supposed to be smart, Adler. Gosh, she gets really squeaky when she's mad. If you use him like the rest of this brothel, then leave him to rot, you'll take some damage.
She's never been this brazen with me before. Not doing any of that.
Are you kidding me? His habits are completely different now. Don't believe for Satan or influence him to stay with you.
Calm yourself. I'm just trying to teach him to protect himself for once in his life. What he does with it is up to him. He's not safe being on his own yet. There are things going on that you don't know about.
What's up a digit? I'll give you one chance, Adler. One. You fuck up, I promise we'll find some way to make you pay.
One chance is all I need.
Don't you dare make me regret this.
Bitch.
Maybe Cynthia does too. Steph at the hip turned to yeah. Shit. Wonder who pissed in her grits this morning. Gotta shake this off. I'm here for a reason besides Sam tonight. Too many people pointing at me in this direction for me to ignore that. First station, a strange thing to see is Harlan serving drinks. Doors on the couch, watching me ever since I entered the room. Only other person to be easy to talk access to Ethel sitting along on the couch. Oh geez, this is hard. Well, Dora runs the place. Harlan, I don't know much about him. Ethel, I think that's like the lizard person. Salamander, and then, well, we literally just talked to Cynthia and she fucking hates our guts, so I think that's a bad idea. Back so soon, Sheriff?
Duty calls, ma'am. Your office?
Very well. Puts out a cigarette in her glass and Harlan doesn't have to be asked to attend to it at once. Once we're alone in her office, she gives me the classic glare. Could you please do me the favor keeping this meeting short? It's a solid week, it's not been a long day.
Any information your girls collect on James would be useful to have.
Good heavens. There's another dick whale contest between you two.
Ma'am, no. I have reason to believe somebody's targeting him by targeting one of his valued employees.
Well, there's not a whole lot to know about him that you don't know already, is there? Fucks a lot of my girls and wants to bed Samuel too.
And you're still blocking that, right?
I prioritize him last, but he's persistent, so he's bound to get a booking one of these days. I won't be surprised when he becomes brazen enough to ask Sam himself. Why do you care so much about that anyway?
I don't. Just think it's funny.
Well, you better keep with the price tag you think it's so funny.
Pay well in advance, don't I?
You slip up sometimes. But regardless of that, I'm sorry I don't know much more. Unless you want very niche specifics, and even then I couldn't promise no. Man's tiresome. Anything else? Shit. Got nothing.
Think that's it for now.
Let's return to the powder room, shall we? Can never read that woman well. Bet the powder room I check my watch. Shit, already about half an hour. Keep coming back every so often reports. But for now I think I've lingered here long enough. The safest thing to do right now is look for Sam. Talk to the girls and don't have to be out in the open. To reach him. He's not with a client, he's going to be by himself. Odd thing is his door is open when I get to his room.
Samuel?
Nobody answers, which is strange. Sometimes he sucks the bar out when nobody's there anymore. Nick found him drunk there once after downing a whole glass of absinthe. Jesus Christ. That shit's fucking strong. What the fuck, Sam? You won't make that mistake again. As I go down the stairs and turn the corner, I hear somebody rattling around. Fuck no. Back so soon, Will? Shit. See, how do you step out from behind the corner? Don't even want to see her, but there she is. Still as bright as spun gold as she was back there. But just a bit more frayed around the edges. Ready to talk, you're just gonna yell somewhere like a big old baby.
Ain't much to talk about, is there? You're in danger here.
Keep kidding, Tom, in danger everywhere, Will. If not here, then it's the city. If there, then it's the city in the north. The fact of the matter is the whole wide world's a pretty dangerous place for a single mother.
You had a support system there, where people would protect you and Andy.
It was cramped and dirty. It was just expensive, Will.
Would have sent you money if you asked.
Maybe I didn't want your money.
Not mine, then whose?
With a lighter insert from her pocket. She's trembling as she struggles to light it. She always did have frail hands. I am on my way from now on. Besides, Andy's past the age for alimony. Mr. Hendrick needs a house cook. Alright, took the position.
Don't do it. Man's a two-faced pervert.
Are you too? She's dragging her cigarette.
No. Told you the truth. I'm wrong to stay together that way.
We built a life together and you put a child in me. Sorry I couldn't be when you wanted me to be. All these years and she still doesn't get it.
I cared about you a lot. You still look good.
So then what was the goddamn problem, Will?
It's useless to retread this.
So then we won't.
Hendricks told me you reached out to him. Is that true?
Only after I'd already arrived.
You moved before speaking with Hendricks.
Truth, the reason I'm here is because I'm worried about Andy.
Why worry about him?
He wants to join the army, Will.
What's so wrong with that? I serve my country my own way.
And look where that got us.
My job had nothing to do with what happened between us. You're just going to trust me on that.
I just don't think it's a good idea for him to go in the military with what's happening in the world right now. He needs a strong male influence to set him straight.
Then you definitely don't want me involved. I'd probably encourage him to go.
And why the hell would you do that?
Draft comes around and might not have a choice. Better get a head start in an officer position than getting dragged away in a foot soldier or everybody else, right?
I don't want to think about that possibility.
We might have to.
Drops her cigarette in a glass of water. Shit! Click will not hand it to her. She takes it. And I light for her. Don't want to lose him, I lost you.
I told you before. You didn't lose me, Hattie. I was never yours in the first place.
That's supposed to make me feel better or something?
It's just the truth. I'm sorry there's any rhyme or reason to it.
She exhales. Been having all sorts of bad feelings, Will.
Bad how?
Feels like I'm being watched, or that there's always somebody waiting around the corner for me. Like those months when we're stalked. Like they're back again. Or more like they never stopped.
Feeling the same way. I don't know if it's helpful or not to tell her that right now.
How did you know to contact Mr. Hendricks?
A letter.
What was the return address?
Didn't have one.
Do you still have it?
There's a opponent person at the side and clasps the copper buckle, and she slips her hand inside, pulls an envelope with a sliced open and hands it to me. Pull out the letter and read it. Some photographs are taped to it too.
What is this?
That one is the inside of my apartment. Inside bedroom where I'm asleep.
Somehow, some way, James made this happen.
I'll kill that man.
But he wouldn't leave in his own phone number and incriminate himself.
I don't think he sent the letter. But I bet it's his fault some way, somehow.
Can you just look after our son if something happens to me, Will? That's all I'm asking.
That's a big ask, Hattie.
Please.
Gotta go. Call me at the station you don't feel safe.
She's saying something, so I will go at the back door of the saloon, but I block it out. Can't be mad at her if she was coerced into coming here, but I know there were other places she could go, and other people she could go to. Thought I saw you strutting out around here.
Good eyes, good ears. Not surprised.
Guess I don't want to treat you light around here from now on. See your breath. It's your fucking fault we're out here in the middle of a goddamn desert now. Lord have mercy. Where to start?
First of all, groom your whiskers better. They're gonna look like shit into your mid-20s.
Oh, fuck off.
Secondly, your mom does her business. Know that you work.
Just stay with her and support her. Not you. Still thinks you pulled this out on me.
That's so. What's this here about you running off to the military, then?
Don't use it till you're my pa.
Well, I am. But if that's not good enough for you, then just see me as a concerned third party.
You don't even know what concern even is.
Cut the crap, Andy. You sign up or not?
Means meant to know what to do with a gun in his hands. More of my breath escaped me.
You'd do better knowing to trim first, Andy.
Told you to cut that out.
Really want to enlist and you should do it. Better regret a choice you made yourself than to regret a choice someone else made for you. Hurts a lot less.
You promise to keep Ma safe if I do it? Not gonna lie here.
No.
Hell do you mean no?
Exactly what I said. This place isn't safe and I told her not to come.
I'll protect her then. I'll do it with my own two hands. More than you've ever done.
You have no idea what I've been through to protect your mom, and you probably never will. Now you listen good. There are people who absolutely will murder you and your mother if you let them get close. She said she's here for other reasons, but she was coerced without a doubt. If you really care about her, then you'll buy her a ticket out of town.
That's not gonna work.
She'll do whatever you say if you don't enlist.
It's okay, Will. I'm a warrior.
You are nothing of the sort. Now get inside before I beat your ass. It's not safe after dark.
Hussy.
Fuck you just say.
Well, goddamn. Boy's over his head. Maybe the military would do him some good. Will?
Sam!
What are you doing here right now? Good question. Oh boy, that update's done. Amazing. Jeez. I'm just gonna label this. So Will is the second. That's Cliff. So Cliff is the fourth one, and then Will is the fifth. Nick is the fifth. And then Thanks for watching this video, guys. I have a lot of thoughts about this update. Well, not really update, it's been out for a bit, but you know what I mean. Actually really happy that we got some of Will's perspective on this, not gonna lie. This is just such a good game, man. The writing's always good, the characters are really well written, the art's always consistently great. It's just really good. But that's really it for the Smoke Room. Until the next update, but yeah, that's it. That's everything that is currently available. Done. Thanks for watching. I'll see ya whenever the next update for this comes out, or whenever I do a new VN. So see ya.